With the 2024-25 World Darts Championship starting on Sunday, I'm going to go through every single bracket or all the four quarters of the draw, predicting who I think will make it into, I think it's the last 16 or the last 32, whatever it is, but I've got it on this graphic anyway, on this predictor. First day, obviously, will be quarter one, then quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, and then I'll finish it off with all the rest of the predictions. Starting off with Thibaut Tricol against Joe Comito. The winner plays Luke Humphries. I'm not seeing too much of Joe Comito, and I've seen loads of Thibaut Tricol, especially at the World Cup. Thibaut is a very good player, and I think he can beat a lot of, decent players on his day. Obviously beat Gerwyn Price recently, as well, as a big scalp. I'm going to go with Thibaut Tricol to beat Joe Comito. And then the second one on this screen is Nick Kenny against Stowe Bunce. Winner plays Raymond van Barneveld. Now, we saw Stowe Bunce at the Grand Slam last year, and then obviously flattered to deceive at the World Championships against Kevin Doherty. And I do fancy Nick Kenny in this one. Obviously, repping the Welsh boys, I will do that as much as I can throughout this tournament. But I think that Nick Kenny gets the job done over Stowe Bunce to play Raymond van Barneveld. Next up then is Jermaine Wattimena against Stefan Belmont. Winner plays James Wade. Again, Wattimena is in absolutely fine form at the moment. He's probably one of the most informed players apart from, the well-known players to casual darts fans. And again, got to the final of the European Championships, losing to Richie Edhouse in the final of that tournament. And Stefan Belmont is a good player. I've seen him on the Euro Tour quite a few times. He is a decent darts player, but I'm going to go with Jermaine to get the job done in this one. The next one then is Wesley Plaisier against Raizu Asamoto. Any pronunciations, I'm sorry. But Wesley Plaisier against Asamoto will play Peter Wright. And this, for me, is a 3-0. I think this is a 3-0 Wesley Plaisier. Again, incredible season this year he's had. Didn't have a tour card at the start of the year. Could maybe end the 2024 season with a tour card, which would be absolutely insane for the Dutchman. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win, so I think Wesley Plaisier will beat Asamoto. The penultimate section of this draw is Alan Suter against Kai Gotthard. Again, I've seen Kai on the Modus Super Series. I've seen him a few times this year. But Alan Suter, he had that incredible World Championships a few years ago, where he was absolutely sublime and unplayable. And I do really want to see the best game of Alan Suit because, Suits is a very good player and a very good operator on the hockey. And I do think that he's going to get the job done over Kai Gotthard. Again, Kai could cause Alan Suter, a few problems, but I think Suits will get the job done and he will play Stephen Bunting in round two. Dirk van Duijvenbode will play the winner of Manos Razma or Christian Kist. Now, have a prayer for Christian Kist last year. This time last year played Luke Littler in round one and got absolutely taken to the cleaners by the Nuke. 107 average or something by Littler in that game. This one is obviously a bit different for Christian Kist. He knows what to expect of Manos Razma, and I think Manos Razma is going to step up to his potential in this tournament. It wasn't too long ago that Manos Razma was on the cusp of the top 32, so he is a very good player, the Latvian, and I think Razmataz gets the job done and will play Dirk van Duijvenbode. The penultimate set of matches for round one in this quarter then is Connor Scott against Ben Robb. Connor Scott, what a talent. Again, another one who didn't have a tour card at the start of the year, could end it with a tour card. Incredible at the Players' Championship recently, getting all the way to the quarterfinals, losing in the last leg shootout to Dirk van Duijvenbode. And Ben Robb, we've seen him on the World Series, is a good player and does have the ability to, beat someone like Connor on his game, but I just don't think Connor Scott is going to have so much of a drop-off in his game that allows Ben Robb the chances and the opportunities in the game. I'm going to go with Connor Scott to meet Damon Heta in the second round. And then the final game of round one in this quarter is Luke Woodhouse taking on Lawrence Ilagan, the winner taking on the World Grand Prix champion Mike De Decker. Now, I like Ilagan. I really like watching Ilagan. He's so erratic. He's so, bubbly on the stage. It really does give that feel of someone who's just happy to be there. And I feel like that bit of emotion is going to get taken out of his game in this game against Luke Woodhouse. I think Woodhouse has been here, done it, at the World Championship. He knows what to expect of this tournament, and Lawrence Ilagan does that as well. But I just think his bubbly attitude is going to get in the way of, really getting over the line in this one. I think Woodhouse gets that game with Dedeker. So then, round 2 of this quarter. So like I said, I'm going to do the first round games, the second round games, and maybe the third round games of this of each quarter, and then we'll go on to the next quarter the next day. So Luke Humphries against Thibaut Tricol. I don't see any way that Thibaut wins this, if I'm honest. I really like Thibaut. I think he's a really good player. And if this was anyone else, he potentially could have got a win here. But the form that Luke Humphries is in right now, and, the way he's playing, the resilient attitude, no matter if he's 2, sets down in a game, you'd still fancy him to go and win it. But I'm going to go with Luke Humphries. Raymond van Barneveld against Nick Kenny. Again, I love watching the Welsh players play, and hopefully as many of them can be as successful on that stage as I want. But I think that against Raymond van Barneveld, it's going to be a big, big ask for Nick Kenny. I don't think Raymond's particularly in form this year, and I don't think he's had an amazing year, but I think Nick Kenny will struggle. James Wade against Jermaine Wattimena. Again, I'm giving Jermaine Wattimena his flowers because he's been absolutely outrageous this year, but I think James Wade on that stage is going to have the upper edge, and I think James Wade wins. And then the last game of this half of the quarter is Peter Wright against Wesley Placier, and I've gone for Wesley Placier to knock out Peter Wright. Oh, what are you doing? People raging in the comments, but Peter Wright is nowhere near it. Peter Wright is absolutely miles off where he wants to be and where his A game should be. He's fallen off a cliff in terms of his form and in terms of his game. And I think Wesley Placier has been in too much of good form to let Peter Wright have a chance in this one. The last round 2 games of this quarter see Stephen Bunting take on Alan Suter, and I've gone Stephen Bunting. I've gone with the experience. I've gone with the quality on that stage. I think Stephen Bunting beats Alan Suter. Again, I like Suter, and I think he could go on a run, but I think Bunting wins. Dirk van Duijvenbode and Madars Razma. Again, I would have said Madars Razma 2-3 months ago. I think Dirk's injury was holding him back a little bit, but the form he's been on recently, obviously getting to the semi-finals of the Players' Championship, puts you in good stead ahead of this. I think he beats Madars Razma. Damon Heta, Connor Scott. Again, Connor is a very good player, and I think he'll be doing very well in this game against Damon Heta. I think this could be a really entertaining one. High scoring, high checkout, but I think the Heat will have enough. And then the last game of this page is Mike Dedeker against Luke Woodhouse. And again, I think Mike Dedeker, World Grand Prix champion, I think he's going to have enough to get past Luke Woodhouse in this game for me. And the final set of predictions on this video is the last 32 for each quarter. Obviously, this will be the final one on every one of these videos until we get past quarter 4. Luke Humphries, Raymond van Barneveld. I don't think this one needs much explanation. Luke Humphries, again, I think he's going to go on and win this World Championship potentially. I think he beats Raymond van Barneveld. Wesley Placier against James Wade. I think this will be a step too far for Wesley Placier. I think James Wade will know if he does beat Peter Wright, he'll know what to expect from Placier, and the shithousery from James Wade on the hockey will get him over the line. The penultimate one, Stephen Bunting against Dirk van Duijvenbode. I like Dirk. I like his walk-on. I like his, the way he is, his charismatic attitude. I like, but I think the bullet wins. Let's go Bunting mental. And then the final game, Damon Heta against Mike Dedeker. I think the World Grand Prix champion wins this. He's used to the set format as well. He obviously won the World Grand Prix against the best player in the world, arguably, on set play. So I think Mike Dedeker gets the job done. Those are quarter 1 predictions. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Tomorrow will be quarter 2, then 3, then 4, and then I will go from the last 16 all the way to the final. Let me know your thoughts down below as always, and thank you guys for watching.